So Wuthering Waves may have just dropped one of their biggest pieces of marketing for the Black Shores. If you don't know, the Black Shores is a new area coming to Wuthering Waves in the next version, and a lot of people are excited for it. I've talked about this a lot in my previous videos about what it's going to be like, is it going to be the turning point for Wuthering Waves, which I do personally think it is, and just overall what will it bring in terms of story. Well, recently Wuthering Waves actually released another trailer to do with the Black Shores, as we are coming up very close to release, and it's a very interesting one. Now, to a lot of people this may seem like a normal trailer just showcasing characters and a new area, but there's actually a ton of hidden meaning behind it, including a secret alphabet and also some other little teasers in there, which I think is very exciting, and it kind of proves that this might be one of the biggest updates Wuthering Waves has done yet. And given a lot of the kind of like slow patches we've had recently, I definitely think that Code Games has been working behind the scenes to make this one of the best updates we could possibly get, and I'm super excited for it. So in this video, we're going to be going through the trailer and also some other stuff that people have brought up in the trailer, and kind of explaining what the Black Shores is all about and what we could potentially see in the future, including characters, story, and even some other stuff to do with the overall Black Shores area. But before I get into this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you enjoy it, and also go over to GameSubs, use my code KAZA where you can get yourself 10% off a ton of cups and tubs. I definitely recommend going over there to go have a little look or something, even if you're not going to buy anything. Definitely, go have a look and see what there is, because again, they got a ton of really cool stuff. But let's get back into the video. So yeah, as I said, on the official Wuthering Waves account, we had this trailer here, which pretty much shows off some of the Black Shores stuff. As you can see here, there's some secret language of like coding kind of, being written up, which we will get into in a little bit. But again, we got more of the Black Shores flower, and then obviously we've got the introduction of the shores here, it being the Black Shores. This is going to be a area that has a lot of water around it. I think that was kind of a given, but I think just from this shot here, I think this kind of proves that Wuthering Waves is going to be expanding their world very soon, whether that's with the Black Shores or whether that's with a future update. I definitely think that the Black Shores will be the update that will turn things around for Wuthering Waves. If you've seen a lot of my previous videos, I go on and on about this keyword that they've put in this kind of patch note thing, saying it will once more shoulder the task of connecting the world, which obviously tells me that, this Black Shores area is going to somehow be the key to unlocking a lot of new regions, or maybe new planets, or just new areas in general, which I think is very exciting. But again, they go up with the title screen, and then they actually start to show off some of the Black Shores area, which I think is great. I honestly think that they've actually really cooked with the design, especially since the beta, because we have actually seen footage of this from a beta video from Steparu. Now, I did accidentally say it was leaks in another video, which again is completely wrong. It was actually beta footage, and he actually got access to it. Again, it was very incomplete, and the textures were really weird, but I think they've actually kind of improved it a lot more here, and it definitely fits in a lot with the environment. I kind of like the overall ominous look as well with all the weather in the background. I think that looks great. And then we've got like the introduction of a lot of like kind of binary and stuff like that, which definitely tells me that there's going to be a lot of kind of like digital stuff behind this. I don't think this is going to be a necessarily outdoorsy event or story, because obviously, we've had a lot of hints that this is going to be digital. Because we've also got this new boss, which was created by the Tethys system, patrolling the borders between reality and the digital world, which makes me think that we might be going into some kind of digital world in the story. And a lot of this kind of visual kind of effects on here in the trailer kind of points towards that. And then obviously we got the butterfly here, which we usually see on the Shorekeeper, and some kind of looks at some of the Jinjo places and a countdown. So it makes me think that we're going to be reaching some kind of like climax in the story here, where pretty much some big thing is going to happen. There's a countdown going on, there's a lot of like hacking stuff, and a lot of kind of just really dark imagery, which again I think is great, and I think this is a really good teaser to kind of tease a lot of the story. And again, they keep going backwards and forwards. And then we also see here there's a little shot of the rover, and I think that's the Shorekeeper stood by him, which tells me that the Shorekeeper is going to be a very big part of this story. A lot of people were unsure on how big she was going to be, because obviously sometimes they do release characters that just don't have any impact on the story, but this definitely seems like she's going to be a big impact, which I'm super excited to see. And then it also teases some other characters that we're going to see as well. I'm pretty sure we can see here is Camellya, and then obviously the Shorekeeper, and then the rover. So it seems like a lot of this story is going to be focused around the Shorekeeper and Camellya, which, big surprise. We have seen a lot of the newer banners, being Camellya and the Shorekeeper, which again, I think, a lot of people were expecting, but it's good to see that they're actually involved in the story and that they weren't just, cast aside. It also seems like we're going to see Alto and Encore as well. Obviously, Alto is one of the Black Shores members, and also, yeah, Camellya is obviously one of the Black Shores members too. I don't know what Encore is. I don't know if she's officially a Black Shores member or if she's just kind of tagging along with Alto. But again, it's really cool to see a lot of these characters being involved, especially some like the lower ones, like Encore being a, standard 5-star and Alto being a 4-star. It's good to see them involved and not just like constantly trying to throw in Jinshi or maybe Yilin or someone like that. who is obviously a limited 5-star. So it's really nice to see that they are including some of these other characters. And obviously it does make sense because, you know, Alto is part of the Black Shores and stuff. And again, there's just a little bit of an animation kind of pointing towards some of the stuff that's going on in the story. Now, I can't tell you everything that's going on because there is a lot of kind of like hidden stuff and a lot of hints towards what's going to happen. And I'm not going to pick up on all of them. And I'm sure a lot of people over time will pick up on a lot of these references. And I'm sure there'll be a lot of these references in here that we won't be able to know until the actual story comes out and we actually play it. So again, it's very exciting to see that there is all of this stuff included in this trailer. And I think it's a lot more than just showing off an area and showing off a story. Again, we've got more of the Shorekeeper there. I think it looks amazing, and I think the overall design, you got all the blue flowers around the kind of blue design, which I think is very, very cool. And also there is a lot of the Black Shores flower, which again is very cool to see. Obviously, we saw that at the start of the story saying, oh, where's this flower from? They're like, oh, it's from the Black Shores, by the way. Which again, is very cool to see that kind of being implemented here. And maybe it means something more than we originally know it. And then also we got this kind of digital stuff around the open world, which again, confuses me a little bit. So I don't know what we're going to see here. It's going to be a very confusing story. But as I said, I definitely think that this is going to be one of the areas that will open up a lot of stuff for the world, which again, I think is amazing. Obviously, there was a lot of other stuff that we saw. There was like a couple of things that like flashed up on screen. One of them was the body of WuWa, I think it was, or at least it was like the skeleton of him, which again is very exciting. And yeah, it seems like a lot of this is very like digital, as we saw the butterfly just disappear there. And the actual line that Wuthering Waves put in the description is, "It's why we're back," which again is very exciting to see. Obviously, they're kind of hyping this up, being like, hey, we're back, by the way, which again is very good. And also it is important to the story apparently as well, which again, yeah, just amazing. And obviously, if we go into some of the, you know, flashed up things that came up onto the screen, it says failed to load Tethys system. Now, we don't know what the Tethys system is. A lot of people are speculating it could be some kind of like big computer thing, which kind of like it controls a lot of stuff to do with the Black Shores and things like that. And it has actually been mentioned in the past by Camellya. It says, "You're just like what the Tethys told us," saying civilization simulation sand table, which again tells me it's some kind of device and not like a person. And it's very common that we see like some big really smart thing, whether it's a computer or a person, in a lot of shows and anime, which kind of give the characters a little bit more information, which again, it's great to see that's being involved. And also Alto actually mentioned it as well in one of his voice lines. He said, "We got to hustle back to the Tethys base, recalibrate our lament detector and warn them before it's too late." So again, it seems like, you know, there's something going on with the Tethys, and I'm really just excited to see what's going to happen with that overall. There was some other language stuff here too, which was like the Black Shores, and also, you know, this was the text we had at the start with all the coding stuff. Again, it does seem like a lot of this is just for show, but also some of it does seem very important, especially with the whole Tethys stuff, which I think is very cool that they've actually added this whole language stuff here, and here is an actual like guide to it. They've actually posted it. I don't know where they actually got this from, but it seems to be pretty accurate, seeing as it does link up with a lot of what people are saying in the Wuthering Waves game. So it seems like, you know, a lot of this language is correct, and that we will be seeing the Tethys system or something to do with the Tethys system, you know, in the future. And maybe that system is going to be the one that opens up a lot of the new regions or a lot of the new planets or whatever we're going to, you know, a lot of the new areas to us, which again is very exciting to see. Whether it's going to be this update or whether it's going to be a future one, obviously we're still in very early versions, so we might not be able to see it like straight away. But again, it is very exciting to see that the story is kind of leading up to that, and it's leading up to some kind of climactic event where something's going to happen either to Jinjo, or, you know, we're going to get out of Jinjo and actually do something else. And I do reckon that's what's going to happen, you know. We're probably going to save Jinjo in some kind of way. I don't know how. Maybe find a little bit more about ourselves and then probably go on another journey to a different region or to a different area, which again, I think will be very cool to see. And obviously we saw it in Genshin Impact, and it does work very, very well. Obviously, if the company does do the area correctly. Obviously, you know, if they bring out a terrible region in the next update, then that's a whole different conversation to talk about. But again, I do have faith that Core Games know what they're doing, and they know what they're cooking with. They've had quite a bit of time to talk about it as well, which is very exciting to see. But overall, very exciting, and I can't wait to see this update come out very soon. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think about this. Do you think that this is going to be a big update, or do you think this is going to be something that's just going to be passed off and that, you know, it isn't as big as I'm saying it is? Honestly, I do think a lot of this stuff is pointing towards some kind of big climactic event, which again, I'm very excited for. And also as well, just let me know down in the comments if you found anything that I didn't like bring up in this video that is very important to this whole trailer, because again, there's a lot of stuff in here that I probably didn't catch, or a lot of other people didn't catch, that you may have picked up on. So yeah. And if you enjoyed this video, then don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. And also go over to Gamer Subs, as I said, use my code where you can get yourself 10% off your ton of cups and tubs. And yeah, that's about all I got for the video. That's all. See ya.